It's got to do this. We're on. Sorry, I was distracted. And I think I was live then. Okay. So, just got to check that people have got the message that I'm live. So, I think I want to do that. You got to find una link. I just saw the way this started. I was, oh no, oh my God. It was like I was chewing something. That was gross. I mean, there were seeds in my mouth. I had a sandwich and I was chewing something. But yes, no, I had my mouth going, like a cow. Look, I normally wouldn't subject you to that. It was honestly accidental. Jamal, yes, the results are being announced tomorrow. I'm just using it as an angle, I guess, for this live stream. So, yes, results are tomorrow. Yes, and Tendai, got to party. Got to stay positive even when things are a bit grim. Oh, and I will just check that my massage went out via Twitter as well. Got to sort of stay on board with her. Speaking of Twitter, you noticed my viral tweet this week. Literally, according to Twitter, seen by 10 million people, more than 10 million people. So, okay, so I did send my message out on Twitter, so that's good. So, okay, hoping for the gang to join, because I haven't done this for a while. I think it's been, I don't know, it might be close to 2 weeks. I don't think I did a live stream last week. I normally do at least 2, and I don't think I did one at all last week. Hi, Caleb and Celtic King and Grasshopper. So yes, I've been missing the old live streams a bit, but it was just the way things were for a while. Wait, what am I doing? I'm actually just intrigued. How long is it since I've done a live stream? So that one was pre-recorded. Oh, it was previous Sunday. So I didn't do any live streams during the week last week. But I did one on the Sunday with Aidsy. So that was good. Okay, cool. And, hopefully he'll be back again. Just, he wasn't feeling that great on the weekend, so he didn't come over. He had stuff to sort out as well. Hello, the letter T. Oh, Musical Aviator, you're on a charity event called World Flight. That sounds pretty cool. Hey, Heidi and Ruckus, oh, you're in London, Luke. Good on you. And hello, Peter. Heidi, no, not the Amazon women. That wasn't, well, I did retweet that one, but that wasn't even my tweet. No. This, again, look, and this shows you how weird the whole something being popular is. The secret, for anyone who wants to know, is you need to be popular with the right person or person. You know the whole term influencers? If the right person decides they like you, that's when things take off for you. The letter T. Ugh, what am I angry about? Dickheads, basically. Oh, Chopper, angry news. Sorry, amazing news. Angry news. Is that something you can share publicly, Chop, or you got to message me about it? I like amazing news, especially from you, because you're normally telling the truth. If you say it's amazing news, it usually is. Oh, look, you're about to do a 14-hour flight home from London. Yes. See, there was a... Oh, cool. You're going to message me. Excellent. Looking forward to it. There was a story going around that tourists had spotted... tourists in Kenya had spotted two male lions having sexual relations, you know, having the gay sex. And there are some officials in Kenya and a few other African countries who are very anti-gay. They make it against the law to be gay. Gay people are persecuted and killed. And so this official didn't want any sort of suggestion that they didn't want any suggestion that homosexuality was actually something that just happens, that isn't any sort of depravity. So what he actually said was that the homosexual lions learned it from copying gay tourists. And a lot of people mocked him and said he was homophobic and stupid and against the evidence and whatnot. But I just said, I tweeted a picture, like a screen grab from one of the online news sites of a picture of the lions fucking, and the headline, Kenyan official, homosexual lions learned it from copying gay tourists. And I just tweeted it, and I said, personally, I say hats off to the gay tourists who are willing to fuck in front of lions, because as ridiculous as that line and homophobic as that line was, saying the gay lions copied it from gay tourists, what he appears to be suggesting is that the gay tourists are so fucking fearless, they were just having sex in front of lions. And for the lions to copy, it wouldn't be once. It wouldn't be once, would it? You would. It's not like you see two human males fucking once and you go, I might try that. You'd have to see it a lot before you started to go, they might be onto something. So this Kenyan official apparently thinks gay men are extraordinarily brave and like to fuck in front of lions. And according to Twitter's stats, that was seen by, so far, by about 10.5 million people. Ooh. Amazing. And look, it's not the funniest thing I've ever tweeted. It seemed like quite an average tweet to me. So it's just like, at some point early in its life, when a few people liked it or retweeted it, someone famous, influential saw it and liked it, and they shared it with their followers, and then it went off from there. And then I don't know who the person was. I don't know who the person was who set it on fire. I did down the line. I saw down the line George Takei did retweet it, and a lot went from there. My personal favourite was Taiki Waititi, New Zealand filmmaker, most famous now for directing Thor Ragnarok, but he's done a bunch of great films in New Zealand, notably What We Do in the Shadows, a mockumentary about vampires, and more recently one called Hunt for the Wilder People. Both great things. Hey Nathan, how are you doing? And David, hey, how you doing? Oh yeah, okay, you and Karina heading to the live announcement tomorrow in Melbourne. Good job. David's an old YouTube friend who now lives in Canada with his lovely wife Karine, and they met at a YouTube meetup we had here in Melbourne. So that's pretty cool. And ooh, Chopper, I did actually look at your message, and that is pretty goddamn cool. Woo! Yes, Chopper, blast from the past. Our man David is visiting these fine shores at the moment. We had lunch day. Now, Grasshopper, you asked, you're saying, am I trying to tell you you've never had gay sex in front of a lion? Not in front of a lion. No, 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 no. Oh, look. But look, Twitter famous is the most fleeting form of, yeah, viral fame itself is the majority of times very fleeting, but there's not much more fleeting than Twitter viral fame, because everyone shares it, then 5 minutes later they're not going to remember who it was. I mean, a lot of people, you know, looked at my profile, looked at other things and whatnot, but my favorite statistic, like I told you, Twitter's giving me all these statistics saying 10.5 million people saw the quote, and it tells me how many people like went through and looked at my profile and then how many followed after that. About 80 people followed. So less than 1 in 100,000. Less than 1 in 100,000 people who saw that tweet followed me. So yeah, of all the viral fame, Twitter viral fame is the most fleeting. The tweet's been doing the rounds for a couple of days now. I forget what day I did it on. Let me see, because I didn't filter anything, so my freaking mentions went mental and the mobile app hate. Oh, it was 6 days ago. Was it that long ago? On the 8th. I tweeted it on the 8th, and people are still looking at it now and sharing it now. So it had legs, I guess, but it's just started to slow down in the last day or two. It was crazy for like 3 or 4 days. Hey, Joe, I'm well. Yeah, David, gay marriage, legal in Canada for a decade. Society hasn't collapsed. Oh, Chris, the tweet I was just mentioning, it was about gay lions. About 8 days ago, I took a picture from an online news site that was captioned, Kenyan official says homosexual lions learned it from copying gay tourists. And I said, well, personally, I say hats off to gay tourists who are willing to fuck in front of lions. And that went a bit crazy, and it'd been viewed by over 10 million people, and a bunch of famous people retweeted it. And 5 seconds later, everyone will forget me. Hey, Mega Leech, how's it going? And Aussie Brick Chick, hello. Tara. Oh, you upset Mark Latham. Good, because he's a fucking tool. Like, I mean, Mark Latham is actually seriously mentally unbalanced. There's a real thing. Yep. Chopper, I think you're onto a winner. What else could we get lions to copy? Serving cocktail. I mean, just walking on hind legs would be good. Just walking on hind legs. If we can make male lions fuck, why haven't they ever started walking on hind legs? Because I know that would be interesting and different and useful. Yeah, then they could serve cocktails. They could, you know, hold a platter in one hand and serve them. But yes, it is. It is a little bit silly. I was thinking of making a video about it because the tweet was so popular. I don't know, maybe some people watch a video, but other things keep getting in the way and I don't do it. Yes, Chopper, you've actually hit on the 2 most popular responses, and it did get thousands of comment replies. The 2 most popular is clearly this is gay pride or some variation of that. And the other one was, wow, it takes balls to fuck in front of a lion. 4 in this case. So yes. Luke, you want a bass playing lion in your band? That's a hook. You could do it. Toby, AIDS and his boyfriend should fuck in front of lions. Well, I think AIDSy would regard that as a good idea and be into it. I'm just not sure about Jason. Jason, maybe not. I haven't really asked Jason if he's into public and or dangerous sex acts. I just happen to know that AIDSy does. Yeah, this is the man who, as he puts it, accidentally starred in a porno back in the 80s. Oh, Mofo, yeah, you're right. There is often cases where people say, you know, animals exhibit homosexual behavior, they should be killed. But I mean, there's a popular sort of, you know, pearl of wisdom people put on Twitter and Facebook, and they say something about how many dozen species exhibit homosexual behavior, but only 1 species exhibits homophobic behavior, and that's humans. I don't know. I'm not sure that's right, because how do you know? Because a lot of animals will randomly, savagely kill one of their own kind. How do we know it's not because they're homophobic? They might be homophobic animals, and when they find out one of their compatriots is gay, fucking murder them. I don't know. Animals are fucked up. Everyone who goes like, animals, yeah, nature is wonderful and pure. Only humans are cruel. Fuck no. Lots of animals are cruel. Lots of animals are vicious. I mean, the way cats torture animals. Anyone who's had a cat has seen it. When it's caught something like a mouse or something, it won't kill it straight away. It'll catch it, and then I'll go like, look, well, you go, you can go, you get, and cats will torture animals for fun. And even completely differently, orcas, killer whales, they're fucking brutal. And they play fucking games. I've seen on David Attenborough things where they've caught a seal. Yeah, Chopper, you know, killer whales torture seals. They've caught a seal, but they don't kill it, and they toss it to one another. They toss it, and they play games, and it's not dead. And they toss, catch in the mouth, toss, catch in the mouth, and killer whales are fucking brutal. Are you Dotty? Yes, ducks are really rapey. Dolphins rape. Dolphins have been seen to rape. I mean, animals are fucking mad. Look, Toby, AZ has explained how he accidentally did the porno, and he's even given a description of it and said if anyone ever finds it, please send it to him, because he doesn't have a copy of it and he's never seen it. No, he thought he was going to an orgy or having sex with people picked up in a bar, and he didn't know they had cameras set up. So their sex session was videoed. He found out after the fact. Chopper, what is this glorious blue drink? Glad you asked. I call it Blue Ruin. It's tequila that's been infused with a blue rock candy that the maker called Fire and Ice because it has menthol and chili in it. So it's got real bite. It's basically, it's like chili menthol tequila. And with a lovely blue colour. You see up on my fridge? Oh, there's not enough light, but I have a range. I have so many beverages up there. I have so many beverages up there. There's quite a few variations of bourbon up there. A herbed bourbon, a chili bourbon, like homemade Fireball. And one with bacon maple flavour in it. It is. Chop, you gotta come to Melbourne, man. I'll make you drinks. Oh yes, Peter, let us talk about how James Patterson is just the fucking worst. I'll probably make a whole video about that. For those who don't know, like I said on this video, this is almost like a countdown to the announcement of the result of the non-binding, useless, stupid, pointless $120 million postal vote on a survey on Australians if they think marriage equality should be legal here. And it's not binding. It has no meaning under law. It's just a colossal waste of money and an excuse to make our queer friends feel really fucking bad as the validity of their existence is subject to this farcical fucking vote. Anyway, James Patterson is a piece of shit senator who is in the Liberal Party and who is, unsurprisingly, the Conservatives were always going to do this. The Conservatives were always going to derail this vote, and what this James Patterson piece of shit has done is propose a private members bill to, okay, if the vote is yes, which we'll find out officially tomorrow, let's have this bill to define how marriage will be. And this is the thing. I mean, I am angry about it, but it's a deliberate distraction. What this piece of shit has done is craft a bill that's so fucking vile, that is so homophobic and transphobic, that seeks to enshrine in law the right to discriminate against people because they're gay. It's never going to get voted for. So if it even gets tabled and then gets voted down, then the Conservatives go, I thought you wanted marriage equality. Why did you vote against the marriage equality? It's just another fucking evil stalling tactic that these worthless pieces of shit are doing. It's fucking awful. Yeah, Tara, the One Nation piece of shit in Queensland, who just told an horrific series of lies about the Safe Schools program. So, oh, teaching the kids, they masturbate in the class and the teacher uses a strap on and blah, blah. It's, again, when the opponents of something do nothing but lie, why can't people look at that and get, wait, if you have to resort to telling ridiculous fucking lies, do you have a point worth mentioning at all? And the short answer is no. No, they don't. Hey, Aussie Gun Bunny, how's it going? But yes, I mean, that's, yeah, what that One Nation candidate did was really contemptible. But then again, he's a One Nation candidate. So, of course, he's going to be really contemptible. Hilariously, there was this thing, a thing I've talked about a lot about in live streams and in other videos, dragging on for months in Australia, ridiculousness of the discovery that a part of our constitution that says you can't serve in the parliament if you are a dual citizen, i.e. a citizen of another country, a huge number of people have been caught in it. Originally, it was just 2 senators from the Greens party, and they were roundly mocked, particularly by particularly that James Patterson piece of shit that we were talking about. He was like, oh, the idea that we shouldn't kick them out just because they can't do the paperwork. Since then, 6 members of his party have gone under the wheels for the same thing, including 2 in the House of Reps, which now means it's a minority government. And you're right, Mega Leech, Jackie Lambie has also fallen on her sword over this. And it's like, it's just a fucking farce. It's a sideshow. But I think we're up to 10 people caught up in this. Look, Tara, yeah, Jackie jumped. It's the weirdest thing about Jackie Lambie is there's a bunch of stuff she goes on about that I disagree with. I think she's almost willfully ignorant of some cultural and race issues, but I feel like she could be reached. But when she says something, she sticks by it. She has an internal integrity. It's pretty impressive, quite honestly. David, it is a good point. Who's going to be left in Parliament after this ridiculousness? So it is an absolutely ridiculous state of affairs. And Peter, you're right. I mean, this has highlighted that the particular Section 44 of our Constitution has to be sorted out. The warning from Ms. Angry that she's coming in here. That's okay. You can come in. You've got that remarkably good at that thing about hanging your hair over your face so you don't even appear on camera as such. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's hilarious as a sideshow. But once we stop laughing at them all, I think that section of the Constitution has to be amended, or there has to be a very clear thing. It's like, okay, if you're running for Parliament, whether it's lower house or the upper house, to be in line with Section 44, here's what you have to do. Follow steps A, B, C, D. If you do that with, you know, honourable intent, then you can't be caught by Section 44. But, you know, that was never defined, and so we've ended up in this ridiculous situation. Right, Tara? What about Barnaby having an affair with his staffer? That's gone quiet because we've all forgotten, because Barnaby is one of the ones who fell under the wheels of the dual citizenship shenanigans. So, again, someone who preaches this moral conservatism who doesn't live up to it. I mean, you know, if I ever got caught up in some sex scandal, I'd go, you knew I was a pervert. What are you talking about? I never preached morality. I preached sexual liberation. Oh my God, of course I've got a gimp suit. Well, I don't. Yeah, wouldn't mind. You know, someone wants to get me a Christmas present, latex gimp suit. Anyway, Peter, nice of you to drop by. Have fun with your friends. But I mean, you know, there's like a comment on one of my videos where I was talking about the big sex scandals that, you know, mostly in the US. And as the obvious comment, you see so many of these people who preach themselves as strong moral conservatives want to make homosexuality illegal. Then you find out they're utter hypocrites, whether it's like this fuckhead who's been harassing schoolgirls for the last 30 years, or you know, homophobic preachers who then use church funds to hire someone from a site called rentboy.com. You know, it seems obvious, but I mean, you know, it's like if I was ever in a sex scandal, it'd be like, dudes, I freaking told you, you know, I'm pro porn, pro sex work. Jesus, how the fuck are you surprised you found out some kink about me? Really, Toby? Yes. Let's even look at it. The fourth package. You remember ages ago when we were talking about this, like I told you that the guy said it wasn't there, but it actually was, but we suspected it actually was. Anyway, I got another package. It wasn't for me, it was for a friend who didn't have a post box. So it got delivered to my post box and I passed it on to her. But when I went to get that, this was there too. More books from Toby, more religious tracts. Let's, while we're talking about religion and morality, let's save our souls, shall we? Yeah, mofo. You know, I made jokes about being a pervert. I'm actually really boring. Been in a relationship with Angry for 12 years. Ooh, some letters. Thank you. I will read those, Toby. Ooh, that's a fun-looking book, isn't it? The Great Controversy. Hey, Adele and Indo-Aussie. How you all doing? What's the Great Controversy? Ooh, that's portentous, isn't it? Everywhere we see crisis, history will be repeated. Are you ready? Man, that sounds really portentous. This is apparently the lives and struggles of Christians through the ages and the impending crisis. A complete book plus 58 Bible, historical, and promise sections and 4 indexes, plus the basic steps to Christ. Okay, so part 1, how to come to Christ. Part 2, how to remain true to Christ. Fair enough. I love it. Again, the chapter headings. The chapter headings are in here. It's like a blazing volcano, the destruction of Jerusalem, whiter than snow, persecution in the first centuries. All the steps down. The apostasy. Apostasy? How do you say apostasy? Is that the word for someone who's an apostate? Anyway, faithful unto death. The Waldenses. John Wycliffe. Wow, there's lots of chapters in this. 42 chapters. Good Lord. Wow, that was a good chapter. What was that chapter called? Looking at great chapter headings in here. Luther before the diet. Was Luther a fatty? Was Luther a fatty? Because it says before the diet. I don't know. Adele, yes, the postal survey is stupid. We have said that, and it's pointless and expensive. Netherlands, Scandinavia, England reformers, French Revolution, American reformer, light through the darkness, great religious awakening, warning rejected, prophecies fulfilled, sanctuary, God's immutable law, modern revivals, the origin of evil. I think that's Aidsie's autobiography. The origins of evil. I think that, oh yeah, see, this is Aidsie's chapters. Enmity between man and Satan, more Aidsie. Agency of evil spirits, definitely more Aidsie. Snares of Satan, yes. That middle section's all Aidsie, quite honestly. That's good. Oh, and another Bible. That's going to come in handy. Thank you. What sort of paper is this on? Very thin paper. Be very good if you were camping, this one, honestly. And as promised, Book of Mormon. Wicked. Wicked. I've got a Book of Mormon. Nice. So probably just need like a. Oh, there's some. Did you highlight the sections, Toby? It's a highlighted section. Yea, I know that God will give liberally to him who asketh. Yea, my God will give me if I ask not amiss. Therefore I will lift up my voice unto thee. Yea, I will cry unto thee, my Lord, the rock of my righteousness. Behold, my voice shall forever ascend up unto thee, my rock and mine everlasting God. Amen. There are a few highlighted sections. Maybe those are the bits that will save me. Questions of the soul. Thank you for that too. Nice. Nice. C for an easy pyrography, go with wide world of sports. Wide world of water sports. There you go, Rugersan. Yes. Oh, Megalich, you went there. Second-hand Book of Mormon. Got to be careful about pages stuck together. No, they're all there. I remember that being a joke from a sketch show in Australia in the 80s, making fun of Ted Nile. That's old school Australian Christian evangelism in Australia. A guy called Ted Nile, the Reverend Ted Nile. He's been in the Senate in New South Wales for decades. Puritan. I went and heckled one of his rallies back in the 80s. And there's a joke about him going like, he's talking about how pornography is filth. And you can just buy this from the newsagent. It's terrible. It's terrible. Look, just look at this. And he's like trying to open it and all the pages are stuck together for the obvious reason. Oh, Toby, you might have highlighted it while investigating church. Fair enough. I swear. Okay, we're talking about people voting yes. Yeah, I just can't handle anyone who voted no, and far less anyone who actively lobbied for no votes. I find absolutely disgusting. Seriously disgusting. Sebastian, yeah, we were saying that before. The Section 44 is outdated, but there should be a basic, clear set of rules. If you do this, and this, then you're in the clear. But because of the ambiguity, this ridiculous shit happened. Hello, Joe, I like that. You had a friend who worked in a news agency that sold porn and religious stuff, and you get people at the counter with one of each in each hand. I like it. I like it. Oh, Adele, if I saw anyone in any of my social media saying anything about no, it would just be like, fuck you. I mean, so contemptible, so disgusting. Oh, God, Tim, you had your form. So you had your form stolen and replaced with a fake one that only had a no box. Well, that's one of the other things. This entire thing is a fucking farce because there was no security. There was no integrity to the vote. It's absolutely terrible. Oh no, my drink's empty. Well, should I have another blue one? Should I have a blue one or a bourbon? I like, you know, in my witty wordplay, I have a herbed bourbon, which I call Herban, and I have a chili bourbon, my homemade Fireball, and I have a maple bacon bourbon, or as everyone knows me trying to pronounce it when I've had a couple, maple bacon Herban bacon bourbon. Sebastian, well, we've already had this idiot in the Liberal Party trying to get segregation and the right to discriminate entrenched in law. Yeah, Mofo, I tried that. The fact that you could see the results, and then there was that guy who made a joke tweet saying, I work at the post office and I'm checking all of them and throwing out the ones that vote no. And he didn't work at the post office, and people went mental over it. Wait a sec. I need a bit of ice. Okay, I saw a vote for chili bourbon, so it's probably going to be that then. Nintendo NX. Okay, I need some ice. Get someone. All right. So got that, and I want these two. No, wait. I think it's in the fridge. Yes. Okay. Some extreme lemon. Okay. So it's like a sort of. Oh, what do we got? Propaganda that gets hurled towards Bernie Sanders is so frustrating. Yeah, look, Biori, and honestly, I think I've said this a lot. I would have far preferred candidate Sanders to candidate Clinton for a couple of reasons. But also, I'll go out on a limb and say a lot of his supporters are complete dickholes. Okay, where's my... I need a measuring device. I'm not free pouring. What did I do with it? Oh, it's over here. Measure with a shot glass. Okay, so yes. I mean, of course, one of the bizarre things, and this is a thing that, well, Sanders himself seems to gloss over, but certainly a lot of his supporters seem to gloss over. Sanders isn't even a Democrat. He sort of rode on the tails of the Democratic Party. You know, he's always been an independent socialist, you know, which I'm completely on board with. But it's a little bit duplicitous to, you know, jump on the Democrat bandwagon because that was his only chance of getting elected, you know. But yeah, you know, politics is ugly and stupid. So, yeah, and that's the other thing, Mofo, you're right. Trump's technically not a Republican. I don't even know. He's probably a registered Republican for the campaign, but I don't even know. Before the campaign, I don't know if he was. I mean, he started making noises during the Obama administration. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the whole thing with wow, that is spicy. I mean, I know that because I've had it before. We've gone from blue to red. It looks a bit orange on the screen. It looks red to me. This is my spiced bourbon, my homemade fireball, and it's really spicy, which is good. Oh yes, Bo. Since Turple's tanking, what are the chances of spill? I mean, I hope so because I just want to see the libs implode horribly. They've got no one palatable to replace Turnbull. I mean, there's a lot of talk of Dutton replacing him. That's an hilarious joke. Like, Dutton is such a toxic individual. They're all just awful and unelectable, and they're just marking time till they get kicked out at the next election. Can I make a blue or gold dress illusion in the drink form? Well, and this is where that blue gold dress illusion come from. The whole reason there was disagreement on that is the photo was such low quality and it wasn't color balanced that it was open to interpretation. That's a things a lot of people don't understand. Video and photos are very unreliable in terms of color reproduction, and based on the ambient light, you can get very different results from the same thing, and people don't seem to realize that. Oh yeah, Tara. I mean, Abbott's despicable. You keep reading some stories that Abbott thinks he could come back as leader, which is an hilarious joke. I'd like to see him humiliated trying. But I do think he definitely wants Turnbull knocked off. He wants revenge on Turnbull for Turnbull knocking him off. Yes, Sebastian Dutton is a racist, xenophobic, torturing piece of filth. Fucking corrupt Queensland drug cop. No, I'm sure he's not. He was a Queensland drug cop, but in a state notorious for its corrupt cops and a division in the police force notorious for corruption, even by the standards of the other divisions of the police force. I'm sure he was the only drug cop in Queensland who wasn't a violent thug and a criminal himself. I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure that he's not corrupt. You know, I mean. Oh yeah, Sebastian. The homosexuality was only officially decriminalised in the 90s in Tasmania, although it had been a while since anyone was prosecuted. But yes, uber conservative Tasmanian Senator Eric Abbott, who is descended from literal Nazis, did campaign against it. Yes. Joe Will, could we get Turncoat and Abbott in a cage fight to the death? Oh, Abbott would win. Abbott's in amazing form. You know, for all the other things you can make fun of him, you can't fucking knock his physical health. Dude's older than me and he's in great shape. And, you know, Turnbull's in about my shape. So, yes, a fight between Abbott and Turnbull would definitely go Abbott's way. I think you're saying there's a bit of noise about Bishop taking over the Libs. Possibly. She's not super unpopular with the public, but she is unpopular in her own party, and she is seen as being part of the overthrow of Tony Abbott, which makes her unpopular in her own party. James as a gay man kept ringing different coalitionists on different day about different things, asking to have a vote to see if you were allowed to do particular things. Oh, that's the way I would do it. You're right, Rick, saying Turnbull's not as stupid as Abbott, but he is spineless and pathetic and weak and has destined himself to go down in history as a really weak, pathetic loser. Oh, yeah. David, oh, God, remembering the classics. That he could be a robot we had to reboot. The saying shit happens. That was a funny thing, hilarious thing that happened, what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago? And the lead up to the election, which Abbott won, Abbott had gone, you know, to see the troops in Afghanistan, and because he had shamelessly politicized the death of some soldiers, and the military went, no, fucking no, you don't do that. You don't politicize the deaths of soldiers. The deaths were not due to any lack of support from the government. The deaths were an operational issue, and that's what happens in war. And when Abbott was there in Afghanistan with one of the senior officers who's saying, like, this is something that a soldiers face, it's a thing that happens. And Abbott went like, yeah, shit happens, which a lot of people thought was disrespectful. And one journo called him on it when he was back in Australia saying, like, you said that and a lot of people think that's disrespectful. And Abbott went, well, you know, no, it wasn't. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore. And Abbott did this thing where he's like, no, I'm just palming you off. I'm not answering your question. And now you have to ask me something else. But the journo just asked him again, how is that not disrespectful? What was that if it's not disrespectful? And it's like Abbott simply couldn't process that the guy wouldn't let him go, that the guy was asking the question again. And he went, so it's like 30 seconds, 45 seconds of silence, and his head started doing this wobble. And yeah, Dottie, there was that soundbite where the journo seemed a bit nervous at one point with this dead air happening. He's going, You're not saying anything, Tony. he broke Abbott. Something in Abbott just broke. And because Abbott declared, you shall not ask the question anymore. And the journo said, yes, I shall. And Abbott couldn't deal. He could not deal with it. And it was like something broke in him. Oh, yeah, Tara, and his lies, like literally on election eve, because people said, you're going to fuck up the public service, you're going to fuck up the ABC, you're going to fuck up pensions. And he said to the camera on election eve, you know, read my lips, no changes to ABC budget, no changes to pensions. And they were all direct lies. And after the fact, when he did attack all those things he said he wouldn't attack, he's going like, well, that wasn't an official policy statement. No, it's just your common or garden variety lie. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, Bjorn, I think Abbott did think he could do a Jedi mind trick, and he failed to remember he not only is not a Jedi, he doesn't have much of a mind at all. Also, yeah, I like that. Abbott next year stopped working. Blue screen of death. Who remembers the original Terminator movie where there's that bit where you see stuff from the Terminator's point of view and possible answers to questions people give him flicker by, and like when someone knocks at the door where he's staying in, because he's been shot and he's cutting out the wounded bits of flesh, so it smells like dead flesh where he is, and someone knocks on his door and goes, oh, what's the stink in there? And the possible answers that flash by, things like go away, leave me alone, and then there's fuck you, asshole, and that's the one he chooses. And he goes, fuck you, asshole. So I kind of think, but in Abbott's case, when he was asked the question, and when he said he wasn't allowed to be asked the question, I think possible response is just nothing, just static went past, and it was just like, and yeah, and that's when I think we said the Abbott XE has stopped working. I do. If you want to rewatch the Terminator, oh god, you just made me remember this is how old I was with the Terminator. It's one of the first big movies on home video. But in the 90s, if you were groovy, you're at a party. It wasn't just the Terminator that was playing; it was the Japanese dub. That's what you had going on at your party in the 90s if you were cool. The Japanese dub of the Terminator on VHS. So, well, Tendai, you may be right. Tony must have been running on Windows Vista. That would have explained the system shutdown. Windows Me, man. Okay, who remembers Windows Me? I never had that. That was one Microsoft operating system I never had. And what was that ridiculous helper thing they tried to do? Like, you know, proto Siri. Bob? Did they call it Bob? I think they called it Bob. I never had that on my computer because I never had that operating system. So there was this little period in history where people were making Microsoft Bob jokes, and I had no idea what they were talking about. Because I think I went from Windows 98 to Vista. I didn't do the operating systems, like I didn't have Windows 2000, Windows Me. Yeah, it was Bob. There you go. It was Microsoft's virtual assistant Bob, which really didn't work. Oh, you had Windows Me on a Pentium 266. Oh, classy machine, the old Pentiums. Yes, I did have XP Megaleech, definitely. I had my first Windows PC that I bought with my own money was a pre-Pentium computer. Was a DX33 processor, which meant a 33 megahertz processor. But I updated to an SX66 processor. Woo, twice as fast. And yeah, it had Windows 3.1, so you still use the DOS interface there. Oh, and I had a friend who was a computer nut who tried to help me on thing, and he set up this DOS shell. So it was like a Windows interface for the DOS programs. And I was going, what? I don't understand. Why is this Windows but not Windows? What have you done? I don't get it. And he just thought I was dumb. Until I used to have chibi characters running amok on your laptop screen. I liked the old screensavers in the 90s. Like, remember the ones like the flying toasters? And I think, there was that one company who did the flying toasters and a whole bunch of cool screensavers. There was one where colored balls fell down slowly filled up your screen. Yeah, the brick maze. I'm trying to remember what that was called. The pipes. Yeah, they're all very good. I played on a Commodore 64 and an Amiga with the cassette tapes and whatnot, but I never owned one. But I did play on them. Yeah, and 90 screensavers, and I mean, my God, at work, like some of the people use Macs, and they have really high-end Macs, and the screensavers they run on those are freaking amazing. Just psychedelic art morphing everywhere. But I do miss the 90s ones. And oh man, I had this really cheesy one that a lot of people didn't get. The Beastie Boys made an official screensaver in the 90s, the early 90s. And it was really low tech. Like, they deliberately didn't make it look as good as it could. And it was like Beastie Boys lyrics like, oh my God, the phone is ringing, and all these other things. And I really liked it. A lot of people didn't get it. But the graphics are really shit. It's like, yes, they're making it look like cut and paste stuff. Oh yeah, David, Matrix screensavers, yes. When Windows 95 came out, and you could have and you can still have entire themes, but everyone used to race to make different themes around movies. So, you know, every sound from the system would be a quote from the movie, and your cursor would somehow be about the movie. After Dark, Ruku-san, that's the one. After Dark screensaver. Here's me now suddenly going to do an internet search to see if you can get a retro After Dark screensaver for Windows 10, maybe. What is on it? Ooh, what are they? I'm finding some stuff. Yes, Flying Toasters, Starry Night, and the Fish, and Hard Rain. Oh my God. Yes, they were so good. Ooh, and here we go. A complete After Dark screensaver archive. Wonder if it runs. And of course, the fun thing for people who don't know, back in the day, with the cathode ray tube monitor, the CRT monitor, you needed a screensaver, because if you left it for a while, you would get image burn in on your screen. Like, you really needed a screensaver. You needed something that constantly moved and changed. Because, like, if you left an image or a document sitting on your screen and went away for a while, there was a real danger that you'd get screen burn in and there'd be a permanent ghost of this image. Oh, Ruki-san, Electric Sheep. That sounds familiar. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it does sound familiar. Yeah, I mean, if I want a screensaver now and I think I just use images, you know, and the Imgur website is good for that. Like sometimes get what screen wallpaper dumps. I've got, Christ, I think I've got a couple thousand wallpapers from the Imgur website, and I just cycle them on my screen. Oh, Joe, a 21-inch CRT with flat screen. Dude, you must have been rich and also strong. That would have been so heavy. So heavy. My God. Mofo, network screensaver. I'm not sure what a network screensaver is. I don't trust networks things. I renders fractal images on computers. Ugh. Oh, right. That's electric sheep. Okay. No. Oh, Joe, I see. It was a repair one. Okay, that's cool. I mean, yes, yes, grew up with CRT monitors, and they were huge and heavy, and not very big screens. I think 21-inch was as big as they ever got, and flat screen was more expensive than curved screen, and they were quite the thing to have a big old monitor. And then when LCD screens, flat screens, first became a thing, there was a big racing. How many you could have on your desk or how big they could be. Yeah, they were. Yes. Oh, I just remembered. Actually, got letters from the. Okay, 2 letters. I think that one goes more than a page. What's this one? Oh, the rules. Okay, cult rules. I've got to read them. Joe, if you weren't careful with the CRT, you could bend the mask and fuck the image for life. And a magnet would fuck up a CRT screen as well, which was an interesting thing to discover. So this letter for Toby, and thank you for the books again, Toby. Andrew, I hope you and your viewers like this letter about the Angry Cult. Hope you like the packages sent over the past month or 2. Yes, I did like them. Hopefully be able to get your long-awaited Book of Mormon. Yay, seeing local Mormon missionaries. Oh, you must have written a letter before you sent this, because yes, you did get me Book of Mormon. They may say no, as you can get one in Melbourne. May send you one, as I usually use my only copy. Book of Mormon studies happen on Thursday night at a local Mormon branch. I believe you're right in describing Mormon churches the Ralph Wiggum of Christianity. Yes, that is what I think of them. So full of shit, it's mind-blowing. Find it to be incredibly sad that intelligent people can get caught up in the shit we know as a Mormon church. And that is a true thing. Just because I believe Mormonism itself is stupid doesn't mean everyone who's a Mormon is stupid. Some quite smart people, smarter than me, are Mormons. There's just there's a different way of looking at it. I testified that the Mormon church and all its offshoots are the product of the conman Joseph Smith Jr., who I believe wanted sex, profit, and power over people in the world. I also testified that I believe Joseph Smith, the founder of Mormonism, was a narcissist, needed to be removed from society. I testified that the leader of the Mormon church, also aiding in the continuation of his cultic con job by not closing down the church. I imagine those declarations would get you in trouble. Hope the Mormon church does shut down one day, because I think the Mormon church is filled with people out for profit and power. I hope people see the Mormon church is a lie and leave it. It's sad to see intelligent people wait their lives on a lie. Hope you like the Book of Mormon, Bible, and Great Controversy book, along with the other 3 books sent you last week. Thinking of starting an angry bookstore. I think I will. I think I'll just hang out on street corners, evangelizing and yelling at people, and just randomly reading passages and shouting at them and banging on the book. And then I'll get arrested. But, you know, that's the way it goes. There are some Mormons believe there was never a ban on black people from ever obtaining the priesthood, which in the Mormon church is an essential thing. Short of paying your tithe, as a pre-1978 black person, you couldn't do anything in the church except attend Sunday service. because the priesthood is of absolute importance to the Mormon Church. I remember how black people weren't allowed to be in the Mormon Church. Cannot perform baptisms, even for their own children, cannot do anything except give church money and Sunday attendance. One of the reasons I never joined a church full of racist shit. They claim it was divine revelation, polygamy ended, but it was the state of Utah, which is, the Mormon Vatican, become part of the USA. The claim was by divine revelation that black people were allowed into the priesthood. Truth is, the American government was threatening the tax exemption by not allowing blacks into the priesthood, and that would threaten their expansion into other parts of the world, especially Brazil, which has a mixed race population, Africa and the Caribbean for obvious reasons. It's that bullshit which put me and other good people from joining this Ralph Wiggum of Christianity. Another reason I find the Mormon Church to be off-putting is because their prophets, who receive revelation directly from God, can be wrong. I do not know much about Judeo-Christian God, but I know this. If he's real and the Bible is correct about him, his prophets cannot be wrong. That's because a prophet has to be right and speak in the name of God. In the Old Testament, people were executed if they were a false prophet, which indicates how God... well, that's a good indication of God's temper. If you like these books, you can now read Thoughts of a Con Man known as Joseph Smith and can do angry scripture study. I can. Yes, Biori, you are absolutely right. That is a common thing in a lot of Christian sects to say black people are actually cursed by God, sided with Satan during the conflict with Jesus. That's why they are that color. You can't see them blush and that sort of thing. Ruka-san, you want me to do public lectures from the Cooking with Semen recipe book? Ha! Get out of... Dottie, that's cunning. Get out of doing unfinished schoolwork by using magnet. Show the teacher the first page on your laptop. Make sure they see you save it to a floppy disk. Take the disk, rub it with a magnet hidden up sleeve. Hand in ruined floppy disk. That may not work anymore. I don't think anyone hands stuff in on disk anymore. So yeah, that little scam's in the past, I think. A Dottie. Yes, Adele, you are. I don't know. I think you're blessed, Adele, just not necessarily by the Christian God. Oh yeah, Tara, I used to love getting the magnets and the magnets from CRT monitors and TVs. All the old monitors and TVs had a big ass magnet in them, and it was really strong. So yeah, me and my friends, when we saw thrown out TVs and monitors and stuff, we used to smash them just to get the magnet and be this big, really strong magnet. So who remembers all that time ago when we were consulting the Church of Satan for ideas for the angry cult? Because we have some proposals here, some humble proposals from our good friend Toby. Oh God, Ruka said, yes, zip disks. 100 megabytes on a zip disk. That was revolutionary. I actually had some zip disks. Okay, so provisions. Starting with Angry Grottos. Angry Grottos are to help members of the Angry Cult study the Angry Gospel, meet and worship our Lord, we call it Almighty AngryAussie, and his chosen one, the angrily anointed one, Azy, who is our Saviour and Lord in a second body. The Angry Grotto system is to help members worship Lord Angry, chosen one Azy, and also to process angry tithes, which will be sent to our Lord Angry for his angry purposes and his anointed one, Azy. Tithes. I like the idea of tithes. To form an angry grotto, a person must fill out a grotto form to ask the person about his or her angry knowledge. See if they've watched the last 5 pre-recorded videos before the angry form is downloaded. See if they've seen 3 of the live streams to see if they can describe the personality and godly powers of Lord Angry and the anointed Azy, King of the Angry Empire. Other questions will be asked to see if they know about Angry, Azy, and what will demand a person's greater life. This is solid. This is solid stuff. I'm loving it, Toby. The angry grottos must never be used for ignorant bullshit that Angry and the anointed one Azy will disapprove of, like men's rights activism, dumb fuckery, supporting dumb cunts, and the promotion of the retardation of the human species. Our Lord Angry will destroy the angry grottos that do such things. All the angry grottos will have to report back to our Lord Angry on the anointed Azy about happenings in these angry grottos so it can stop the corruption of these organizations. Solid, solid, solid. Ideal, Your word being bisexual and chronically ill and anxious means you're not blessed. It's just a very special blessing, Adele. It's just a very special one. Angry prayer. Prayers to Angry Aussie would like you another but fake God would be pointless. So to pray to Angry Aussie and AZ, you must write them a letter and send it to the Angry PO Box. That's good. I like that. That way, Angry Aussie and AZ can read the prayers and know what you said. They're not mind readers, so they cannot hear you if you pray silently out of earshot of them. You could alternatively make a video and upload it to YouTube or Facebook, send the link to Angry and AZ. You could make an audio recording and of your prayer and upload it to a website, share the link, but you must never annoy Angry AZ by going up to them to pray to them while they're minding their own business. That would piss them off and make them want to kill you. They're not Yahweh and Jesus who want you to annoy them while they mind their own business. Angry and AZ are not that merciful to annoying cunts that want to annoy them all the time. Just ask anyone who's annoyed them. They can testify to the fact. They are mercifully non-merciful because they do not want to lower the social bar. They will raise to a point by telling people they're being fucking stupid. I like that. Oh. The angry structure. Okay, I love it. Here's a proposal for the formal structure of the angry cult. Registered members. Registered member of the angry cult is still in the process of watching as many Angry Aussie videos, along with the videos from Less Angry Aussie and AZ Code Grey, videos from other channels that our lords Angry Aussie and AZ say we must watch. Registered members, who can be called new members as well, must find out what our Lord Angry Aussie finds to be dumb and stupid behaviour, so when they reach the level of active member, they can go around calling people dumb cunts. The angry cult does not promote that you act so arrogantly that you assume the person you hear in public are dumb cunts and stupid people. But if they interact with you and are being dumb cunts and fuckwits, you can call them dumb cunts and tell them exactly how they are. Active members must prove their loyalty to Lord Angry and AZ by showing you're willing to write out a transcript of 35 Angry Aussie's videos. Must be exact and grammatically perfect. If you get it wrong, you have to do it again. Wow, wow, that's cruel. That is cruel. Hello, Screever. Look, we've got some positive talk about religion. Look, again, not religious myself, but religious people who are positive, inclusive, and supportive, I'm completely fine with. The fact that we don't agree on certain topics, that is a fine and acceptable thing. Not agreeing is fine. Using disagreement to persecute people, no, that's bullshit and that's inexcusable. So yes, if religion is how you find meaning in your life, good on you. If you don't use that to oppress other people and to hurt other people and to marginalize other people, I'm fine with it. It's fine. Okay, that was pretty disgusting, wasn't it? Okay. So back to cult structure. Active member. An active member's role is to help registered members in their area and preach to dumb cunts about how their dumb fuckery is making our species worthy of destruction, how their genes need to be removed from our species, and how members of the angry cult are better than everyone else in the universe. An active must also be able to act as intermediary to local media until a properly appointed person can be sent to the area for that person. Active members must have a thorough knowledge of the angry philosophy, the angry teachings, and must prove they aren't dumb cunts. The angry cult cannot have its reputation stained by dumb cunts. All active members must be able to defend Angry Aussie and AZ and all their actions, particularly them calling people out on their shit, which is a holy thing and an uplifting thing for us humans. If we're not told about our stupidity through the all-knowing, all-holy, and all-righteous views, opinions, and laws of the holy angry cult, we cannot improve as individuals and therefore as a species. This is good stuff. Yeah, burping is a sacrament. Okay. Oh, Tara, crying for 6 months on HRT. Oh, look, anything. And again, people go on things like HRT and other medications when it's not to do with being transgender as well. And yeah, anything that, yeah, and this is also like a lot of people with antidepressants and stuff as well. Stuff that is altering your body chemistry to a good end can still be really fucking difficult along the way. And it can be really difficult to see through. And fucking thumbs up to you for seeing it through as well, because not an easy journey, takes a lot of strength of character, and yeah, good on you for seeing it through. I give you all my support. Back to rules for the cult, the angry media contact. If you would like to be a media contact in your area for the angry cult, you'll have to provide proof that you are capable of being able to answer the questions in an honest way, because lies and stupidity are useless and not very angry. The angry cult is all about truthful and accurate knowledge of our Lord AngryAussie and AZ. Any lies by angry cult by a member will result in the wrath of angry. He's the most wrathful kind of wrath you could ever experience, so do not piss our Lord Angry off. To become a media contact for the angry cult, the person must either download the PDF form and mail it to AngryAussie's PO Box, or request a form from AngryAussie himself through the usual social media accounts. You'll be sent a letter filled with questions you must be able to answer in order to become an authorised media contact. You have 10 days to film a response to the questions, send a footage via DVD to AngryAussie's PO Box. Otherwise, you'll have to order the form again at the cost of $30 a retry. Person can only try 4 times. On the 4th time, it will be concluded the person's either a useless cunt or intentionally trying to piss our Lord AngryAussie off. We must exterminate that kind of uselessness from this holy and angry cult. This is just gold. Oh, Tara. You're 52, but you're getting teenage mood swings? Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's tough. Screever, lithium is a very versatile subject. You're right, lithium is in batteries. Lithium is also an antipsychotic medication, I believe. Things are very versatile. So, you know, okay, and then finally, we've got angry minions. Angry minions are members who are employed directly by Angry Cult to investigate claims of members being useless cunts. The angry minions will investigate the claims, write a report detailing their findings, so that AngryAussie, AZ, or one of the angry tribunals can come to a conclusion about the useless cunt if it is determined the claim is true. It's of absolute importance that each area complies and honestly answers the angry minions, because the angry cult cannot have useless cunts in its mix. Brilliant. And finally, angry tribunals. Angry tribunal is a tribunal that will determine the fates of members of the angry cult. Most transgressions will be dealt with on a local level, but major transgressions, like being a useless cunt, dumb cunt, contradicting the Lord's angry and AZ, and not complying with the perfect standards of our lords, will be met with an angry tribunal. The angry tribunal will be made up of angry, AZ, and a few of their holy representatives from various parts of the angry empire. All hail the angry empire. The angry tribunal will read the reports made by the angry minions, check out the evidence they've gathered during their investigation, including statements and video made by the accusers, and read statements made by people who know the accused and are giving character witness for the accused. At the end of the hearing, angry AZ and the rest of the tribunal will head into the decision room and make a decision on the future of the accused. May the mercy of our Lords Angry and AZ be upon the accused. Oh my God, Toby, that is gold. That is really good. Oh, Tara, okay, I see that. You had a very tough time with family, feeling suicidal. Oh, SSRI, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Yes, they can deaden you, whatnot, but when you balance out a bit, it can be a literal lifesaver. Yeah, I mean, it's like if you're in a difficult situation and you find a medication that works, that's great. If you're in a difficult situation and you find a non-medication solution that works, that's great. For most people, it will ultimately end up becoming a mix. I honestly think there's not a lot of case where medication alone works for sort of chronic mental health issues. And I think there's not that many cases where just counselling or, you know, psychologist or psychiatrist visits on their own, if you have severe anxiety or depression, you know, borderline personality disorder, any variety of those, I often think the solution ends up being a combination of the two. But I mean, man, you go with it. Mofo, joining my cult would help. Okay. Again, not necessarily on its own, maybe in conjunction with the help from a medical professional, mental health professional, but there's no two questions about it, no two ways about it, no question, no two ways. I just mixed up two sayings, but no two ways about it. Joining my cult would be good for you. That's got the Angry guarantee. Yeah, non-binding guarantee, by the way, not a legal guarantee in any sense of the imagination. Oh, Tara, you're on a maintenance dose now. Well, look, and I hope things are better now and they work for you. Like Aziz has quite severe anxiety and chronic pain and other issues, and he's had to balance and juggle all sorts of medications over the years, and some haven't worked for him at all and have been counterproductive, and other have. I have lots of friends and family with different mental health issues, and a whole bunch of different things can work. But yeah, if you're having a tough time, don't be alone. You're not alone. You can get the help. You can get help from medical professionals, and get things like counselling, or from a psychiatrist. As I've talked about in other things, Mrs. Angry is a psychologist counsellor, has a couple of neat tricks in her practice. There are therapeutic techniques that go by interesting acronyms, EMDR and EFT. I wonder if any the books are often around here, actually. I don't think any of them are today. It's just my books, my Bible, the Book of Mormon. But yes, honestly, if you've been having trouble and you haven't been able to find a doctor or a counselor or a psychologist, maybe medications you prescribed didn't work. If you can find a practitioner, like a qualified practitioner, a counselor, psychologist, psychiatrist, who uses EMDR and or EFT as part of their practice, and you've never tried that, it's really worth trying. They're amazing therapeutic techniques, and they can be incredibly effective. I mean, like EMDR has been used to successfully treat like extreme post-traumatic stress disorder and much lesser issues as well, much less acute issues as well. And EFT can be great for anxiety and trauma. Oh, Toby, I still haven't put VD's letter into my WordPress account. I really should. I haven't put anything on my WordPress account for ages, but if I do, I will also make a video about it, sending people to it. Oh, good. I do. You have a good GP. I'm glad. Mofo, you're mentioning CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. This shows the sort of person I hang out with online and social media. I have some friends on Twitter who are dominatrixes, people who are into the whole BDSM world. And because of things they've said, when I see CBT, I think of cock and ball torture. I know, it's terrible. I should be ashamed. But once these ideas get stuck in your head, you hear people going like, well, I was having a lot of trouble with my mental health, and then I got into CBT and everything got much better. And I'm like, you fixing your mental health with cock and ball torture? I guess if it works. Look, if it works for you, then oh no, wait, you mean cognitive behavioral therapy. Okay, sorry, I missed it. Oh, Letter T, you're a newbie. Who's VD? VD was a dude. His username was Video Dude, which I abbreviated to VD. And he tried to proselytize his version of the Mormon religion and whatnot. And look, he was mildly amusing, but he started getting rude and harassing people in the chat. and being homophobic and abusive. And I told him he had to stop, or I'd kick him out. And I put him in timeout. I put him in the naughty chair. There's a thing I can do, just kick him out for 10 minutes, then he's allowed back in. And he came back in and kept doing it. I said, dude, you keep doing it. He's just getting banned. And he kept doing it. So I blocked him, banned him from coming into the chats. After this, he started writing me letters, long, crazy letters. Like the longest one was, I think it was a couple thousand words. It was like single space, tiny font. It was really crazy to read. And so he was an object of quite a lot of fun in the live chats for a while, where I'd read his letters. And then, because he has some friends in the group, and I was informed he actually got arrested because part of him with being unstable, he used drugs a lot, and he got grabbed by the cops for having marijuana. And when the cops frisked him and found it and were going to take him in, he started punching the cops. And so he ended up in jail. So now he's in jail. Yeah, that was an interesting coincidence, Viola. I mentioned CBT and you drop in. So, yeah, Scriva, VD was funny, and I would have let him stay if he toned it down. It's just like he was boring. He wouldn't stop. He's going, oh, letter T. If you looked back through my live streams, and you'd have to go back a couple months, I think it's even in the title of the videos that I said I was reading letters, craziest hate mail ever. I'm actually just going live streams, looking at what they're called. You have to go back a ways. I'm already back into September and I haven't found it. There's a couple months ago that I did it. Speaking of Viola, Viola's in some of my live streams because we're virtually neighbours. Viola just lives up the road from me. I've moved here and found out I was in Viola's neighbourhood, which is a nice bonus. Oh yeah, you've got to go back to August. The start of August 1st, 3rd, and 10th. The videos are called Reading Hate Mail and page 2 of the best hate mail ever. And it was really good, severely mentally imbalanced hate mail. So it's right back at the start of August. That's such a long time ago. Yeah. Oh, and I'll warn you, Letter T, the streams are really long. I tend to go for like 2 hours or more at a time. I think these hate mail ones, yeah, they're both about an hour 45, so they're both about an hour and 3/4 long. But there's a lot in those letters. They're pretty full on. Oh yes, Joe. Of course, Viola is smart and interesting and fun and kind of good. Like all my friends, I'm only friends with cool people and nice people and good people. I do not like to have my time taken up by mean or cruel people or stupid people or hateful people. So, yes. Joe, that is very nice that you're good at recognizing good people. That is a good trait to have for yourself, if nothing else, quite honestly. Being able to know when someone is a good or bad person. Oh, Eilish liked my link. I wonder if Eilish is watching me. So a mutual acquaintance of Azi's and mine. I'm just looking on Facebook and seeing who saw the link I post and posted, and that name stood up because I haven't seen her for ages. So Yes, blast from the past. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if Eilish is secretly in the stream or not. That's who's wearing pants. I actually, you can tell I'm wearing pants. I just have my suspenders on. I haven't changed since I got home from work. I should have. I should have like bloody, because it's a warm day, warm night tonight. Should have put my summer PJs on. So yes. Yes, well, I could. You never know. I could be pantsless, but the suspenders. God, why are they so uneven? What have I been doing today? No, I haven't been involved in weird situations where I took my suspenders off. Stop asking. That's rude. Summer PJs. Oh, yeah, I don't sleep in PJ. I don't even sleep in PJs in winter. I'm a nude sleeper. Get that in your heads. Why do I sleep in the nude? Just in case there's ever a burglar breaks into my house and I have to protect my family. If I went out trying to act tough and said, I'm going to get you, the burglar might be tougher than me, which would be bad. But if I run out in the middle of the night when there's a burglar in the house, if I run out in the nude with everything swinging in the breeze saying, come and get it, big boy, the burglar's going to run away. That's what I'm going to say. Well, Tara, sleeping in the nude is good for me. That's all I'm going to say. So even when I sleep alone, I sleep in the nude. But I'm lucky enough to not sleep alone. So yes. Oh, I have hats, Tendai. I wear hats to work. I'm quite the hat wearer. I wear them in something. So, Oscriva, this is going to be a brutal summer, and in my neck of the woods, because there hasn't been that much rain, really worried about bushfire season this year. By at the latest January or February, stuff's going to be shit. Now we're all sharing stories about chasing burglars in the nude. Let it to you. Your dad ran out of the house naked. Viola had a friend chasing some guy naked with a bat. It works, is what I'm saying. It's just so confronting. They're going, roar. I remember reading this thing years ago. It was an interview with this guy. He was a martial arts dude. He was like scary tough guy, and he made weapons. He made a lot of prop weapons for movies, and so he'd experiment with different weapons. He ended up, like the traditional Japanese weapon, the nunchucks. He tried a version where instead of wooden things on the end of the chain, it was axes, little tomahawks on the end of the chain, and he practiced, and he said, yeah, you can guess the number of times that tomahawks hit me, and I had cuts and broken bones from the hitting me, but he ended up, he could use it. And he went out, he was living in Sydney, he went into this park in King's Cross where, you get killed if you go into this park. And he went there alone on a Saturday night just to get some assholes to attack him. And when he said these 4 guys came at him, he just whipped this tomahawk nunchucks out and started swinging it around. And he said of the 4 of them, 2 ran away. One tripped as he was running away and fell really badly and hurt himself. Is the 4th guy just freaked out, like something snapped in his brain, and he just collapsed. He was down on his knees and just fell down and was just whimpering and crying because he thought he was going to get killed. So yeah, that was a little bit much. Adele, yes, I did hear about the guy who fell into the wood chipper, and as soon as I saw that, I had the mental image that just horrified me. 6 degrees. No, 6 degrees is a bit cold. Joe, even 16 is a bit fresh. 20 Celsius would be good. You're right, Tara. If you like erect nipples, 6 degrees would be the weather for you. But guys, and there's not going to be a lot of nude guys walking around in 6-degree temperature. First, because it's too cold to walk around nude in 6-degree weather. Second, shrinkage. Guys don't want to be explaining all the time about shrinkage. It's a real thing. So don't be making judgments of guys in cold weather or just jumping out of like cold water, whether it's the pool or the surf. See a nude guy just after jumping out of cold water, you're not getting an accurate image, is all I'm saying. Viola, I guess you're right. 6 degrees is bad for nipple weather and people are being jumpers. Unless, you know, you're willing to take one for the team as it goes. You're right, though, actually. If you want nipples enclosed, you want summer with a t-shirt because it's warm, but then a cool breeze comes. Yeah, no, you want t-shirt weather with a cool breeze, and that's the best of both. So, just throwing it out there. I'm just saying. Untapped resources in Antarctica. That's one way of looking at mofo. But yes. So I think what we're voting for is an actual sort of 20 degrees. It's warm enough to wear a t-shirt, but then you might get a cool breeze occasionally. And that would be worth it. See, I have a thing. I wear singlets all the time, or what the British call vests. I call a waistcoat a vest. British call singlet a vest. I do that to stop my nipples rubbing on my shirt. You needed to know that, didn't you? That if your fluctuations in weather, and I hate it if my nipples rub on my shirt, but if I wear a singlet, that like insulates my nipples so I don't get my nipples rubbing on my shirt. Go to sleep with that thought in your head. That's what I'm saying. Well, Dendo, I don't mean everywhere in the world should be 20 to 25 degrees. I mean where I am. The North Pole and the South Pole can be cold, and there can be some variation. Yes, Sebastian, Bonds singlets. Look, chesty Bonds. I'm not even joking. Look, I'm wearing one now. See? Bonds white singlet, traditional. Good old chesty Bond. You know, we make jokes about punching Nazis and how, you know, Captain America punched Nazis and whatnot. Chesty Bond fought the Nazis in World War II as well. The mascot for the Bond singlets, good old Ocker guy, Chesty Bond, fought the Nazis. Frank, why are you coming in just now? I'm literally just about to go to bed. So, Viola, you like 25 to 30? That's possibly slightly, I don't mind 25 to 30 at all, but if I had absolute preference, I would say 20 to 25. I don't like it to get too hot. 25 to 30 is fine, but probably prefer 20 to 25. Anywho, look, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to go to bed. And before I go to bed, I'm going to say thank you all for joining me for an, as usual, completely enjoyable night. I hope you enjoy your lunch break, Frank. It's bedtime for me. Oh, yeah, Tara, you're right. Being trans, you get asked lots of questions. I have a lot of trans friends, and they get asked a lot of questions. I have actually been trying to get one of my trans friends to come on a live stream as well. I don't know if she wants to say that she's trans when she comes on, but anyway. Thank you, everyone, for coming on. Tara. Oh, Adele, it's 12 hours before the survey result. Well, look for it. Yes, thanks, Joe. Yeah, click like, everyone. Do me a favor and yeah, do the like on the way out. We'll fool the YouTube algorithm yet into thinking that I'm popular. Yes, today I might be back on Tuesday. I might be on Thursday. Often I like to do the live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't always do that, but I might be back on Tuesday. If Aidsy's in a traveling mood on the weekend, we might see him again on the weekend for another live stream, which would be good. And yeah, I will be doing a video tomorrow night based on the result of the survey about marriage equality in Australia and my feelings on that whole thing, which even if it's an incredibly resounding yes, which it should be, I'll still be pissed off at how stupid the whole thing was. But take care of yourself, everyone. You're all awesome, incredible people. I really enjoyed chatting with you. And I will be back again soon. So bye now.